Alright, so I'm going to show how to open up and disassemble this Dell Latitude 7490. So first what you want to do is get a PH1 screwdriver and just undo all the screws. The screws actually stay in place after you take them out. They have little metal washers that hold them in place. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, once you remove those 8 screws, then you want to just go underneath. I use my fingernails, but you can use a pry tool, and then you kind of just pull the cover off. Seems like it doesn't get held in place with any clips, so the cover actually comes off really easily. So here you can see, actually there aren't little washers that hold it in place, it's just the way they designed the screw. So they only put the thread at the very bottom, so it actually will stop from coming out completely. Alright? Okay, so first thing you want to do, usually whenever you work on computers, to be safe, you take out the battery. If you're just changing the RAM or the SSD, you usually don't need to worry about it, but I recommend doing it just to be safe. Okay, so the battery's here. There's this tab. Let me see if I can show you. So basically, you just grab this and you just pull up straight up on it. Okay, so just like this. Okay. And then that's how you disconnect the battery. After that, you want to press and hold the power button. So just open the screen. Alright. And then press and hold the power button. Usually for about 15 seconds or so. That should be good enough. Alright. If you want, since this one also has a issue not turning on, I'm going to try disconnecting the CMOS battery. And I'm going to short the battery connector. So that's this connector. So to remove these connectors, you basically just grab it and kind of just wiggle it and then it'll pop out. Alright, so I'm going to short out the CMOS battery connector. So that's here. So I'm going to reset the BIOS by doing this. So hopefully this will work. If it doesn't, then it's something else is wrong with the motherboard. But anyways, you can hold the power button down while you're doing this. Okay. Make sure that you disconnected both batteries before you do this, or you can damage your computer. Okay, so I'm just shorting out the CMOS battery connector. Okay, hopefully that'll work. Alright, now we'll just go over the different components. So you got the CMOS or the BIOS battery here. Maybe I'll take out the battery just to show you what's underneath. Let's see, there's 2 screws in the corners here. I think those are the only 2 screws. Try and keep the screws together in order if you're taking them out, just so you can put them back the same place you got them from. It's not good to mix up the screws. If you put back the wrong screws, sometimes you can damage the computer. Alright, once you get those screws out, you can lift up the top like that, and then you can slide it out. There are little tabs that stick out, so when you put the battery back, you do have to put those bottom tabs in first and then put it down. Okay, so the battery, if you need to replace it, is type F3YGT. So if you search on like Amazon for the battery F3YGT, you should be able to find this battery. Okay, and this cable is removable, so if you order a battery, it might not come with this cable. You might have to transfer it over. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Alright, so here you can see underneath, there's so many connectors here, so I'm not too sure what everything is. Let me see if I can figure it out. Alright, so you got, let's see here, zoom in a little bit. So you got here the trackpad cable. So this connects from the trackpad to the motherboard, and everything else looks like it's connected to here. So I'm gonna be guessing what these things are because they didn't actually label it. But from what it looks like, this one is probably most likely the keyboard backlight connector. Then you got this, which is, I don't know where that's going to. Let's see. So there's multiple. I don't know. But this is definitely the keyboard connector. This one could also possibly be the keyboard backlight. Then you got the trackpad buttons. So these physical buttons that are down here. So I don't know. These both might be backlight cables. But if not, one of these two are the little center nub thing. So this little thing on the keyboard. So one of them controls that. I don't know what else it would control. I don't think these 3 mouse buttons up here have a separate connector, but if they do, this is most likely the 3 buttons here. This is probably the center button. The only way to really know for sure is if I disconnect them and turn the computer on, but I don't want to do that. So it looks like the keyboard is held in place with screws, so you can probably take the keyboard out, but I'm not going to do that whole process. I'm just going to do like a kind of quick overview. So under here you got the RAM. You just pull these metal tabs to the side like this. The RAM will pop up. Then you can kind of just pull it out. This is PC4 2400T. It is a 16 gig stick. So if you want, you can put another 16 gig stick of the same type, same speed, and you can have 32 gigs of RAM. Most people won't need that much. It's actually faster if you have 2 of the same size and speed sticks of RAM. So if you want, you can either get another 16 gig stick or 2 8 gig sticks, and it'll make your computer quite a bit better. So there's an LTE wide area network card thing here, or slot. And then you got, let's see. So there's these little connectors up here. So this says it's for a touchscreen, and then this is IR for like an infrared sensor, I guess. You got the DC jack here for the charge port. So if you need to replace the charge port, you can. You just take the one screw out from here. Hopefully you can see that, the one screw there. Okay. Take that one screw out. I'm just going to put it back afterwards, but I'll show you. Then you can lift this metal piece off. Okay. You have to do it at an angle. And then this should pop up just like that. To remove the connector, you kind of want to get as close as you can to this piece. Let me zoom in for you. Alright, so you kind of want to get as close as you can to the plastic piece, and then you kind of just wiggle the cable. So just wiggle it like this while you're slightly pulling it. Alright, just keep wiggling it like that, and the connector should come out just like that. Okay, so that's how you remove the connector. You don't want to just yank it really hard because you can rip this thing off the board. Okay, I'm going to put it back in, but if you need to replace it, that's how you do it. This cable's pretty short, so it's nice and easy to replace if you do damage that. Okay, so make sure that lines back up, and then you can put the screw back in. Okay. So I guess I'll check all the connections. This computer wasn't turning on, so we'll see what's going on with it. So here you got the SSD. So to remove that, there's the one screw here. Let me zoom out a little bit. Alright, make sure you put enough pressure that your screwdriver doesn't skip out of the screw. Alright, once you remove that screw, you can pull this up slightly, and then you can wiggle it back to pull it out. Okay, just like this. Alright, so this is a, did they label it? It is a SATA M.2 SSD. So you know that because it has this little, so now I found out how to tell easier, but they have this little thing here that says, oops, that says ATA on it. So that's how you know right there. So it says serial ATA. I don't know if it supports M.2 PCIe NVMe cards if you want to get those faster SSDs. You'll have to look around online, Google, see if it supports it. If not, you could always buy one from Amazon that has free returns, or a local store. Try it out, and then if it doesn't work, you could just return it. But this one is SATA, okay? Then you got the speakers here. Let me zoom out some more. Alright, so you got the speakers down here. So these aren't held in with any screws, they're just held in with rubber pieces, so you kind of just wiggle it and lift it out, okay, just like that. Alright, I'm going to leave it in place because I don't want to take out all this stuff and then have to put it all back in. But this cable runs all the way along here. It's underneath these little metal clips, and then there's a piece of tape here, and then it plugs in up here. So to remove that, just like the CMOS battery, you basically just use your fingernails again, okay, just like that on the little edges. Alright, so, and then you kind of just wiggle, 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 wiggle. Just keep wiggling it, just keep wiggling it. Don't pull too hard, just keep wiggling it. Alright, be patient, it will come out, just keep wiggling. Alright, just like this. Alright, come on. Oh, did I like snap my nail off? So this can be a little tricky. This one's a little bit tough. If it doesn't come out, you can try pulling the cable, try and stay close to the connector. But this one, I don't know, it's being really tough to remove, so it's kind of strange. You might have to apply more force pulling back as you wiggle it, but yeah, I don't know, this one is very tough to remove. So I don't know, you might have to use the cable. So if you can't get it out by doing that, you can grab the cable as close to the connector as possible and then just keep wiggling it again, pulling and wiggling, and there you go, so it pops out. Okay, all right, I would try and use the plastic tabs on the side if you can, because that's the least dangerous way. If you try and just pull the cable, sometimes you can end up pulling the connectors out of the, or you can pull the cables out of the connector. Okay, so there we go. Then you got this little thing here. I think this is just the battery light sensor, so it has a cable that plugs in and it goes up here. So I think this just shows like the battery charge state and things like that. All right, then you got the wireless card. So this is just like every other wireless card. So here we go. So the wireless card, there's this metal plate on top. Just remove the one screw, okay, and then move that metal plate. So as you can see, like sometimes you can drop stuff. That's why you want to remove the battery first. Okay, so there we go. All right, and then for these cables, what you want to do is just at the tail, kind of just pick it up from the tail. I don't know if you can even see, but you try and get from the tail as close to the connector as possible, and then you kind of just lift it up. Okay, just like this, and the cable should pop out just like that. Okay, same thing for the other one. And then if you want to take the wireless card out, you have to kind of lift it up. It had a little sticky tab underneath, but you lift it up at an angle and then you can wiggle it and pull it out. All right, I'm not going to take out both antennas because they're kind of a pain to put back. But what you do to put it back, let me see if I can zoom in a bit more. Okay, to put it back, you line it up. All right, and then, oops, the adhesive is popping back up. So line it up. Let's see, I can't see. All right, and then I like to rub my fingernail over the connector. If it stays in place, you know it's lined up, and then you can push it down. Okay. Oh, can do it again. Okay, make sure it's lined up, and then push it down just like that. Here we go. All right, so now we're going to put this metal plate back on top and put the screw back in place. Just like that. All right, so you got the fan here. There's two screws. Oops. You got the fan here. There's two screws holding it in place. There's one here and then one up here. And then to remove the connector, it's basically the same like the speaker connector. You just pinch the corners and then you kind of just wiggle it and keep pulling, wiggling, and pulling. Okay, let's see here. Just like that. This cable came out a lot easier than the speaker cable. And then to put it back in, just line it back up. Make sure it's lined up and then push it back. If you can, it's good to kind of pinch the two layers together when you're squeezing the connector in, so you're not pushing a bunch of force into the socket and then you can accidentally rip it off the board if they didn't solder it well. All right, and the last thing we have is the LCD connector here. So to remove that, there's this one screw. Oops, sorry if you can't see that. So to remove that, there's this one screw holding this metal plate in place. Right, remove that screw, remove the metal plate. It's kind of stuck. I wonder what it's stuck on. Okay, so this is hooked in somehow. Okay, so they do have like a little hook in there, so when you put it, make sure you kind of wiggle it to undo the hook. You don't want to just yank it straight up and you can break the part of the board here that's extended out. All right, and then once you do that, this is kind of like the battery connector. You just grab this tab and you pull it up. If you can't pull it up and remove it that way, I find the best way is I take my fingernail underneath the edge of the thing while I'm pulling on this, and then I can pop this up from the corner just like that. Okay, so that's how you remove that, and then you can push this back down. All right, So I like to use like a pry tool or fingernail underneath to pop it up, so that way it's not pulling all the force on the logic board or the motherboard itself. The CPU is soldered in place, so you can't remove that. That's part of the motherboard. All right. Now let's make sure this is in place. Okay. Then we'll put the screw back. But that's pretty much all there is to this video. I'm not going to really show the screen and other stuff how to remove, but hopefully this video helps you. All these ports and everything are part of the motherboard, so if you break them, you will have to either replace the motherboard, or yours might have a different model, but here's the model number of this motherboard in case you wanted to see. But yeah, all the ports and everything are part of the board, so if you need to replace it, if you need to replace any of these, you might have to get someone who's either experienced in replacing these ports, or you have to replace the whole motherboard. Alright, but anyways, that's all there is. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this video helped. If it did, please like and subscribe so others can find this video. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.